Really the only holdovers, but hey, that's enough.
Hot Rod Williams, healthy again, but the numbers don't say that. Ted Bernhardt, Dick Bavetta, Tommy Wood will call tonight's NBA game for you. Phoenix in white
going to start out before this game,
and in the dark uniforms,
the
Chicago Bulls.
On Ron Harper instead of Michael Jordan. KJ did a good job on Jordan in Chicago, but was only 2 for 4.
Ready to jump. There's Cotton Fitzsimmons. The team is 6-5 since Cotton has taken over. They were a below 500 team under Paul Westphal, who was fired on January the 16th. We're underway. Hot Rod Williams will give it up.
Well, Phoenix may have just as tough a time trying to execute offense as trying to get that tap from Chicago. They play smothering defense.
Person gave it up to Barkley. Rodman will have that assignment. He sags off on him, and Barkley misses. Scottie Pippen with a rebound.
Little gamesmanship from Rodman saying, hey, go ahead, take the 15-footer. I don't think you can hit it.
Harper guarded by KJ. Jordan with again. Right through. Scottie Pippen gets 2.
Well, that's just too easy. The first option, the handoff to Pippen off the post. And you just can't let him have it that easy.
He didn't even jump center. At 6'11", they had the 6'4" Charles Barkley.
On the right side, this is KJ. Holding. Giving it up. Barkley backing in, posting up, giving it. Hot Rod Williams. Oh, what a miss. Rodman the rebound. He had 2 games last week of 21 and 23 rebounds.
He's not 100%. I walked with him in the arena today. He said he's more like 60%.
Ron Harper holding.
Those first 2 plays,
giving it up to Rodman.
He's been playing all year.
Wennington at 18 points, but missed a key shot down the stretch against Denver. Harper misses there.
Well, tough matchup for KJ. He's got to guard the 6'6" Harper.
And a miss down low by Finley. Bulls come back in transition.
That was a beautiful shot.
Slow start to this game. Only a couple of points in this one, but the teams have had chances at both ends. Wennington stripped, but it stays there.
Well, Wennington's a good story. He's hadn't played much minutes as Luke Longley has had that fantastic year in the center position for Chicago, but now down with a knee injury. And Wennington has to step to the forefront. Had 18 points in his last game.
Oh, that was smooth for Michael Jordan. He is on the board. 4-0 Chicago. Suns move it down low, and Barkley won't miss from there. He's averaging over 23 points a game. That's his first 2-point game. 10 minutes to go. First quarter of play from Phoenix. Harper. Wennington about 12, 13 feet away, bangs it.
Well, Williams is going to have to come out and guard Wennington. He's really not a post-up player. He's a guy who wants to hit that 15, 16-footer. So Williams going to have to get up on him.
Whoa, underneath. Charles Barkley has all of the Suns' points. 6-4, Bulls.
Real nice eye contact play from KJ to Charles on the alley-oop.
Rodman way out. Michael pulling up and hitting it against the rookie Finley, taking him to school. Jordan has 4 points. Bulls extend the lead by 4 once more. Barkley has all of the Suns' points. They look to Charles again against Rodman.
No double team. They feel Rodman can handle him.
Shot clock almost handling him. Finley short. Rodman guns it. Downtown. Easy one for Scottie Pippen. But Rodman, with the court sense, he knew where Pippen was. It was easy.
Very accurate long pass as Pippen comes up with the steal.
6 points. Cotton Fitzsimmons might be thinking timeout. Forget about thinking, he's calling it. He had to call it there. Chicago Bulls, thanks to rebounding and defense, pick up a quick 4 points to extend their lead. Otherwise, it was pretty close. We'll look again.
Well, here's the look. You can't assume anything on the inbounds pass and just go straight to Scottie Pippen. He knows what to do from there. But here's another look. You got Dennis Rodman inside, giving up the easy position to Charles Barkley. Can't do it that easy. Here's the communication we talked about earlier. Nice alley-oop for Charles, so he's getting it going early.
Cotton Fitzsimmons has changed things a little bit since he's taken over the team, but Barkley is still the go-to guy. But I think more guys spread that ball around and are a part of it. Of course, Paul Westphal didn't have KJ and Barkley healthy all the time. Dennis Rodman, I wouldn't want to be playing against him now. He's a little bit upset after being snubbed by the coaches for the All-Star game, so watch out.
Well, I don't quite understand it. I mean, certainly it wouldn't be unheard of for Rodman to be in the All-Star game. He's a fine player, but I don't look at it as a snub. I look at the guys they put in there, the numbers they put up, and they've got some real well-rounded players who made it. Everyone can't make it, and unfortunately, Dennis got left out.
Off a kick from Jordan. There is Dennis. Leads the NBA in rebounds and tattoos. Air dive.
You see the contact inside as he fought through the screen. Wants to talk to the official about it.
Hot Rod Williams came to the Dan Marley trade. I'm sure a lot of people are still thinking about that one. Barkley. 1 against 3. He tried to give it up to Finley. And that one's going the other way.
And that turnover is all on Charles. He had Finley open right here, and he doesn't give it to him. He decides to give it to him way too late after they've both been in the lane for 3 seconds.
Pippen. Bulls lead by 8, and that's a turnover for Chicago. KJ with it. Johnson comes into the game 2 steals away from 900 in his career. And Barkley drew a foul, I believe, on Jordan.
Yeah, it was. He had worked screen roll with Kevin Johnson, and Rodman jumped out and switched on KJ, and Michael was left to try and contend with Charles in the post. And Michael's a great player, but he's given away a lot of pounds.
Hot Rod Williams nowhere to go with it. Guarded by Wennington. Oh, a steal almost there for Jordan, who leads the team there, and he got one. Harper will be the beneficiary. Ron Harper scores, but it was set up by Michael Jordan.
Well, that's 3 turnovers early for Phoenix, and they can't afford to do that. You see Chicago already out to a 10-point lead.
Kevin Johnson on the outside. Fakes, gives, Barkley. Exclamation point. But, you know, we said he was the go-to guy, but he's got all their points, and they've got to find somebody else.
And every time, Kevin Johnson not even looking for his shot, just looking to feed Charles in the post.
7:08 to go. First quarter from Phoenix. Bulls lead it by 8. Back to 10. Wennington, 4 points. Now maybe we'll get the full timeout for Phoenix. And it's about time. Chicago's doing it all tonight on the road, outside, inside, and with defense. They're up by 10.
The Chicago defense is so tough. You see all positions on the floor are denied right now. Hot Rod Williams, not used to handling it out here, is in trouble. So we're going to get a down screen here, and Finley's going to try and come out. And Jordan switches out, tips it away, almost has to steal. But watch Finley, he'll relax right here, and Jordan never relaxes. They're always coming. And instead of being able to set up the offense, Jordan picks his pocket from behind. Here's Ron Harper in the open court, and he's just as good an athlete as most other guys on that Chicago team. Doesn't get a lot of points, but he knows how to finish.
Turnovers, Phoenix with 3, Chicago with 1. Not enough credit goes to that Bulls defense. They have 3 of the best defensive players in the NBA in Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman. Barkley. All of the Phoenix points to this point. Backing in on Rodman. Barkley's got 8.
Well, Phoenix clearly has a strategy that they want to isolate Charles on Rodman. Maybe they're trying to pick up fouls on Dennis, but they are simply clearing one side of the floor and giving it to Charles on the other.
Chicago leads Barkley 16-8. Harper won't count. 3-second violation on the Bulls. Phil Jackson looking on. 383 coaching wins for this man in 7 years. Second fastest coach to win 300 games in the NBA. Finley gave it out to Williams. Person. Barkley wants some space cleared for him. Wennington came over. Nice pass. Williams missed. Rodman got in his face. Here's Pippen.
Well, Williams just got to get up and dunk that ball. He's 6'11". He's missed 2 layups tonight.
Michael missed that attempt from 3. KJ coming back. It's an 8-point Chicago lead. Less than 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Off the screen. Finley with a miss. Look out, Rodman. That's a case of being too darn good of a rebounder. Sometimes he fights with his own teammates because he's not sure.
And here's another look at Charles posting, and this time he gives it off to Williams. Good reaction by Dennis Rodman. Don't want to take any credit away from Dennis. Great defensive play, but you're 6'11", you got to come stronger.
Williams with a miss. Look at Rodman. He just outworks people. That's his secret. He focuses so much on getting that rebound. 16-8. Bulls by 8. Wennington outside. Pippen with a cut inside is Michael Jordan, who missed. It was short. Harper has been watching Rodman. The kiss off the glass for Ron Harper. 4 points for Harper. Bulls extend the lead again. Back up to 10, second time. KJ looking. There's the number we've been telling you about. Only Barkley has points for this club. Finley. Somebody's got to take it to the hole other than Barkley. This is too predictable. And we've got Rodman on a, I don't know, rather questionable, cheeky kind of hold. Right, Phil Jackson?
Well, this is what the Suns are looking for. They feel if they can get Rodman out of the game, it's to their advantage. They're right. You see Rodman's got both hands on him, and
that's a good call.
That's what they're calling. You've got to body Barkley to some degree because he's so strong.
That's a better angle. When I saw it live, I didn't think that was that good. Finley got the roll.
Well, there's a good, hard, aggressive cut by Michael Finley and the good bounce pass from Charles. He got it there in time this time.
4:43 to go in the first quarter. It's an 8-point lead for the visiting Bulls. Underneath, somebody missed an assignment. That's Hot Rod Williams, who missed Wennington.
Yeah, Wennington ran over to double Harper in the post to try and help out KJ, and Harper found him right away, wide open Wennington.
Third time, Bulls have led by as many as 10. Williams, they'll give him that shot. Instead, he goes all the way in, leaned it on Wennington, but apparently draws the foul on Wennington, the 7-footer.
Well, here's a look. You got Harper in the post, and Hot Rod Williams went over to help out, but he half-heartedly went over. You saw him give up on the double team. You know, if he stays there with his arms up, it's a tougher pass inside to his man, Wennington.
You know, Harper starts every game, but he only averages 20-some-odd minutes, so he comes out early. Here's our NBA update. Orlando by 1 over Sacramento. San Antonio leads Charlotte. First free throw is made. Boston and Cleveland are close. Steve Kerr has checked in for the Bulls, replacing Harper. Hot Rod Williams, pretty good free throw shooter, 71%. Makes both. Phoenix gets it back. Person to KJ.
Don't usually see the Bulls making those type of careless mistakes. Kevin Johnson must take Steve Kerr off the dribble here.
Oh, Kerr heard you. Trying not to let him in. Wennington with a block. That's a great camera angle down low to see how tough it is and how little space there is for these guys.
Well, Kevin Johnson should have the advantage putting the ball on the floor against Kerr. Kerr did an excellent job, as you pointed out, stopping that initial penetration. But Kevin Johnson, to be effective, needs to be able to put the ball on the floor and get inside the teeth of the defense. Not real happy that he wasn't able to pick up a foul call there as he took it to the hole.
Wet spots on the floor. They're being mopped up right now. You can read his lips there. He said, no problem. Barkley. Backing in. Kevin Johnson on the outside. Swings it to the rookie. Finley. Nice dish. I don't know how he found Barkley. Barkley can't find the bucket. Williams can't either. And Pippen's got it. And Charles Barkley is going to get that one against him.
I don't know how Finley got that ball in there either. He really forced it in. Here's the look. Really kind of a bailout pass. Almost ill-advised. Somehow it got through there. Barkley is now completely in jail among 3 defenders. And Hot Rod Williams ended up with that miss. And again, he missed another one right next to the basket.
Look at a crossover dribble for Jordan. He was ready to do another highlight film shot, but we've got a foul before it. How hot is it in Phoenix? Even for a guy that perspires like a Michael Jordan, that's a lot of sweat this early.
And here's a look at Jordan going the hole. Finley getting an education. Hot Rod Williams, if he doesn't put his arms down there, he doesn't pick up the foul.
That's one way to cool off Michael. 6 points for Jordan. 10-point lead again. Oh, Williams lost the handle. He's really struggling. He can't be at 100%. The crowd's really giving it to him, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He can't be even close. Here's Michael. Say no more.
Yeah, going up against the rookie. Finley's shown some flashes, but Michael's showing him he's got a long way to go.
Finley not showing Michael any defensive flashes. That's the problem. Scotty, 7 on the shot clock. Oh, great play to Rodman. Dennis Rodman doesn't get many points, but you know, if you leave him alone like that, somebody will find him and they'll spread that ball around. It's a 12-point game. Bulls.
Especially on this Chicago team that gives the ball up so well to one another.
Chicago capitalizing for 6 off the turnovers. Good move by Finley, who averages 15 a game. He's got 4 now. The lead is down to 10. Less than 2.5 minutes to play in this opening quarter. And the Chicago Bulls have seen fit to call a timeout. Bulls are doing well here in Phoenix. Everybody's contributing. It's a 10-point lead. Phoenix and maybe in America, Jerry Colangelo, because he's running, well, actually he's going to be running 3 teams when the baseball franchise makes its debut. Here's Cotton Fitzsimmons' record, 6-5, but look at the threes. They're not shooting them anymore.
Well, and the reason is simple. They don't have the three-point shooters that they used to. Danny Ainge is in the broadcast booth. Marley is in Cleveland. They don't have the three-point shooters, so why force up the threes at an NBA low pace of 30% a game? So they've been more effective. They don't jack up the quick three, so the possessions go down a little, and you saw that they're not giving up as many points because they're taking better shots.
And they're playing better defense. Tony Kukoc will make his first appearance in this game. What a bench the Bulls have.
One thing about, as you see the numbers for Barkley and Phoenix, Barkley been almost all their offenses. The other thing about three-point shooting is long rebounds on misses, and that starts fast breaks, leads to easy baskets the other way. Phoenix can't afford that anymore, so they're going to a much more traditional offensive set.
Tony Kukoc in his 3rd year with this team, 6'11", 230, but boy, can he handle a basketball. There is John Paxson, who looks like he's still young enough to be playing, and he actually retired at a very early age, in his early 30s, after winning a few championships. Wayman, or let's see, yeah, Wayman Tisdale has checked in for Williams, and Tisdale could give you that outside shot that Williams hasn't been able to deliver if he wants to move away from the basket. Kukoc. The whistle before it. Off the ball.
And that's on Tisdale, and that's a very tough matchup for him. Tony Kukoc just off the bench. Yeah, he's a little taller than Tisdale is, but he's a tremendously skilled player, and Tisdale can't hope to stay with him on the perimeter.
Michael Jordan.
So kind of the small Chicago lineup. No true center in the lineup for Chicago.
Michael lost it. All the way, coast to coast. And a good defensive play by Pippen, but he fouled Person.
I think they may be just calling it out of bounds.
Yes.
But here's a look at Michael. Gets inside, and actually pretty good defense that time. The help from Tisdale, and that forces the turnover. And you see how easy Scottie Pippen got back and just calmly knocked that ball out of bounds.
Person lost it. Jordan forced him, and then Pippen got it. Kerr got it. Steve Kerr. Give him credit for a 3 on that one. It's the first 3 made in this game. Johnson outside. Got it. KJ's on the board for the first time. And we're near the end of the first quarter. It's an 11-point game. Bulls. Kukoc all the way.
Well, there you saw Tisdale couldn't get out on him and came running out to stop the jumper. Kukoc went straight by him. The Bulls should look to exploit that matchup every time.
13-point Chicago lead, and KJ, you heard the whistle before it.
Well, here's a look at Tisdale. He respects the shot. You see him running out of control. Kukoc easily by him, and then the body control to loft it over Barkley without charging.
Kerr committed that foul. Kevin Johnson will go to the line for a pair. KJ can shoot free throws 85%. Makes one. He's got 3 points.
And he's been hot lately. Of his 23 points in the last game against Washington, 11 of those came from the free throw line, 11 of 12 in that game. So KJ, he's not getting it done from the field. He will kill you from the line.
Gets to the line about 8 times a game. 11-point game. It was 13, the lead for Chicago. Pippen to Kerr. The pull-up, no good. Rebounding is Rodman. He had 12 in the loss against Denver after those 2 games of over 20. Kukoc, Jordan. They've got the right side cleared if he wants it.
Good job by Finley defending.
Well, you don't see that happen very often. Kukoc doesn't want to touch it, or it's a backcourt violation. That's twice Michael's been bottled up and was forced into a bad toss.
And it all started with good man-to-man defense by Finley, who was able to contain Jordan. Watch him here move the feet. It's all the feet here. He doesn't let Jordan take the baseline, and then before help can even arrive, he's thrown it away. So good job by Finley in winning maybe round 2 against the Master.
Technical foul apparently on Phoenix. Kerr's going to the line. He doesn't miss often, 90%. Nothing but net. Charles may have been guilty of saying too much. Yeah. Charles gets caught.
You have to wonder what Barkley was politicking about. Just got a break, a turnover going the other way.
Suns with it with Person. Downloaded Tisdale. That soft touch.
Just like he can't guard Kukoc on the perimeter on the other end, once he gets Kukoc down on the block on offense, Kukoc have a hard time stopping that big lefty.
Less than a half a minute to go, first quarter. Bulls with the lead. By 10. Kukoc. All the way. Got it. You know, he almost lost that ball in the dribble coming in, but he draws the foul. He has a chance to make it a 3-point play.
Well, we talked about how Chicago needs to capitalize on this matchup, and they are. Kukoc just one head and shoulder fake and takes it to his left. Strong hand for Kukoc. Here's another look. One thing you can't let him do is go left. That's where he wants to go, but Tisdale just not quick enough to stay with him.
Kukoc will go to the line. 77+%. Good free throw shooting. 5 Tony Kukoc points. 13-point lead, second time that the Bulls have had that. Suns could take the last shot of the quarter. Kevin Johnson. Knows that time's running out. Fakes, gives to Finley. No good. Would have counted. He got it up in time. But that's it for this first quarter. And Scottie Pippen had a chance to get a breather. 6 points, 3 rebounds. He's not missed yet from the floor, going 3 for 3. It's all Chicago in this, the first quarter from Phoenix. An all-star, if he could stay healthy, he's back out on the floor. 16 points per game. And I mean, he's gone through so much. Whether you like him or Phoenix or basketball, you still got to root for this guy. Twice he's come back from a year out with a blown-out knee. Kukoc, second period, starting off physically with Tisdale. Now to Kevin Johnson. KJ missed. Rodman. By my count, we've got Rodman for 4 or 5 rebounds here early on. Heading for another rebounding title. That's a 3. If it went. Rodman got another one. That was an easy one. There's that long rebound you talked about. Harper with a miss. Barkley. Suns are in transition. KJ. Kick out. Tisdale. Short. Ron Harper. There were 3 Bulls there for that rebound. They can even give Michael Jordan a rest here. And still look like a darn good lineup. Turnaround. Pippen's first miss after going 3 for 3 in the first quarter. KJ pulls it back. Kerr guarding him. Kerr, Harper, Kukoc, Pippen, and Rodman. It's a small unit for Chicago, at least relatively speaking. Pippen saved it for Rodman. Great defense. Here's Kerr. Kukoc. Got it. Give Tony Kukoc 7 points.
Well, he's gone by Tisdale several times. This time Tisdale had to lay off, so he hit the jumper.
Tisdale, Manning, Barkley, KJ are all out there.
Wesley Person's got to shoot that ball. He's got a 6-foot jumper.
Bounce pass, Rodman. Late dish to Kukoc, who was fouled. But you can see the unselfish play of Dennis Rodman. He's really fitted well with Chicago. There was a lot of skepticism before the year started, but so far he's handled it well.
And here's a look at the help defense by Danny Manning. Good job, and Tisdale able to come away with a rebound.
Career out at Kansas University.
Really picked up that Kansas team on his shoulders, carried them to a national championship.
1988, right?
88 was the year. Danny and the Miracles, and this guy pretty much did it all. I think that team had 10, 11 losses during the regular season, but put it together when it counted and beat Oklahoma, their Big 8 conference rival.
Phoenix with it. Kevin Johnson. Kicked out. Cotton Fitzsimmons back for his 3rd stint as a coach. Very popular coach here. Led this team to 4 straight 50-plus win seasons in the late 80s, early 90s. Oh, bad hands. Great recovery, though. Manning.
Well, Manning had to work real hard for that. Kukoc was playing him tough, but he rubbed him off a low screen and found some space.
Rod. Great dish to Harper, and he missed. Too much showtime.
Well, Harper thought he had a real nice dunk coming up there, but kind of just rubbed it out on top.
Rodman should be unhappy. That was a great assist. Should have been his. Tisdale. Good play and a foul on Kukoc.
Well, I haven't seen that type of quick post move to the baseline from Tisdale yet this season, but really made the move. Got Kukoc on the hip, was able to squeeze it up. We'll see him here. Watch him make the quick spin to the baseline. He got him on the hip, and now Kukoc is dead, leaning in with the foul, so got a chance for 3.
Kukoc committed that foul. Tisdale used to play with Indiana and Sacramento in the NBA. Jordan checks back in for the Bulls. Harper out. Chicago getting a lot of points tonight with a fast break. Tisdale. Give him 5 points. 11-point game was as high as 16 with the Bulls on top. Bulls working around. Michael. Kukoc with a miss. Jason Cappy is checked into the lineup for Chicago at the same time as Jordan.
Now here's a matchup we're going to like to see. Danny Manning called with the offensive foul. Good job by Kukoc. He's really battled with him in the post. That time he got Manning a little frustrated. Here's a look at it. Watch Manning's right arm. He's going to shove away Kukoc with the elbow there. So good call by the official. And Kukoc not known as a good, tough defender in the post. Here we're looking at a couple tough guys in the post doing their pushing.
Kukoc, short. KJ. They can cut it down to single digits. Tisdale to Finley. Barkley back to Michael Finley. Tisdale. And this one goes out, and Rodman almost lands on a photographer.
Well, Charles Barkley doesn't have the energy he once had, and probably never had the energy that Dennis Rodman had. But on both ends of the floor, Barkley is really, really pushing Rodman, contesting these rebounds, making them work.
Rodman 8 rebounds, and all of Phoenix at 9. Now he's out rebounding teams. Barkley against Cappy. I'm going to say that was a kick.
They're friends now. Don't forget that. Although the glare he gave Jordan would hardly make you believe that.
They're friends, but they're competitors right now. Finley. Nice fake. Right through.
Well, that time Finley saw that Jordan was just cheating down, looking for the entry pass into Barkley. And Finley just said, hey, you don't respect my drive. I'll take it right to you.
Phil Jackson didn't like that. He's a very picky coach, and there's not much to pick on with the Bulls. They've only lost 4 games, but he doesn't like this, the way the defense collapsed, allowing Finley to get an easy couple and cut the lead of Chicago to single digits. 9-point game. Bulls are up. Make it 11. Michael Jordan. He has 8 points. The short jumper is no good. Barkley gets it down. Manning will get another crack to Charles.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing to see. A 6'10" guy on the move, driving the lane with the sweet dish inside the Barkley. Talking about Danny Manning.
Kerr. Bulls lead the NBA in threes, but they're only taken the one, or made one. Kukoc scores there. They've not attempted many in this one. Kukoc is in double figures, 10 points. That's his average. 11-point game. Chicago. They had won 18 straight, and then were upended in Denver. Finley got the roll.
Well, had a loose ball bounding around. It looked like another Suns turnover, but Finley there to scoop it up and finish.
6:44 to go. Second quarter from Phoenix. Along with Mark Brown, I'm John Paul Della Camera, the Chicago Bulls. Leading, they've led in this game the whole way. Where is it? Rodman couldn't get that one. Finley got it.
Well, you saw the great explosive step by Finley. The guy he had to get past in the open court was Michael Jordan.
Well, the crowd has come to life. It's a 7-point lead for the Bulls. Stevie Kerr outside, takes it in. Kukoc 3. No. Rebound, Barkley.
Barkley has stepped up and answered the challenge against Dennis Rodman. He is now winning this rebound battle.
Phil Jackson was up off the bench, upset at the elbows that he thought were thrown. Rodman, 9th rebound, unofficially. Michael, fake. Inside, Cappy almost lost his shirt. Manning commits the foul.
And this game's intensity has really picked up, and it starts inside out with Barkley and Rodman. You see Barkley with yet another rebound, and here's a nice give back from Manning. That's great teamwork from the big men. And here's a look at the loose ball that Finley was able to grab. Gets in, gets the body into Rodman so he can't jump, and lays it in.
Have you ever seen that happen?
Yeah, in the WWF is where I've seen that happen.
The tearaway jersey.
Here's a look at out of control was Manning, and he was as much looking to save himself as he was prevent Finley. That's a pretty expensive uniform to be ripping like that.
Oh, Cappy will sit. Kukoc. Pippen is back in. Tony in and down.
Well, you may recall me saying Tisdale can't let Kukoc go left. That time he overplayed him to the left, and Kukoc said, you know what, I can go right.
Less than 5.5 to go here. Look at the shooting by quarter. 79% with the Bulls in the first quarter on 15 for 19 shooting. KJ got it, and Kerr fouled him.
Well, Kerr can't do much better job of defending KJ than that. He stayed with him step for step, got him down near behind the backboard, and just got a little piece of KJ, and the great concentration and touch. As you see KJ's numbers, he's got a chance to complete the three-point play.
Already 6 assists. He averages 7.9. And we're still in the first half. Kevin Johnson came here when Cotton Fitzsimmons was actually the coach here in his second stint. And Fitzsimmons, most people will tell you, is the reason why they made that deal in the first place, to get him from Cleveland in that big deal with Larry Nance, who turned out well for Cleveland also, so both sides were happy.
Certainly.
Nice one for Pippen. Here's Kevin Johnson. Johnson's glad he came here because he would have been backing up Mark Price for years like Terrell Brandon had to. Here's Kerr, stopping, giving. Kukoc off the spin. Nice self-clutch, but he missed it. Michael, too hard off the glass. And found the rebounding action.
That'll be on Rodman as the battle goes on. Rodman's got 2 now.
It's a good battle with he and Barkley.
Well, this is really in keeping with Charles's recent commitment in the last 8 games towards going after the boards. He's averaging almost 15 a game in that span, as we mentioned at the top of the show, and he certainly needs that type of attitude tonight.
KJ got it from AC Green, who's checked in. Johnson off the glass, too hard. Rebound. Barkley. Oh, I thought Pippen got all ball.
Well, he's got incredibly quick hands. He's already knocked away 3 or 4 tonight. This time he's not going to get as Barkley gives him a friendly elbow. You know when they're not friendly from Charles. There's he in the post. Charles Barkley with Rodman. Watch him go away, but now he's got the great inside position for the rebound.
12 Barkley points. Only 4, though, in the second quarter. 6-point game. Bulls have led from the get-go. They had a lead of 16 at one time. Curve for 2. In and out. All of a sudden, the Bulls can't hit. Finland. Too much showtime, but it still may work. KJ got it.
Superior fake on that behind-the-back pass for KJ, and the great finish in the Foul America West Arena. They're starting to believe in their Suns. Best team in basketball in town, and right now, Suns taking it to them.
Nice run by Phoenix. They're making a game out of it, much to Phil Jackson's dismay. Wennington is checked back in. Rodman leaving. Percy wants to remind the referee about something. Did he just get slapped with a technical or no? That was an interesting reaction.
Cotton Fitzsimmons and Steve Kerr with a little conversation. A little playoff atmosphere, ambiance here tonight in America West.
KJ gets the free throw. Dennis sits down. 3-point game. Bulls lost Sunday. Suns won their game. Wennington cold off the bench, but now hits an important 2. He has 8. Johnson picked up by Kerr. Kerr used to play with the Suns about 26 games several years ago. Barkley got it, and he was fouled.
Well, this time they tried to put Pippen on Barkley. Pippen actually a bit taller than Charles, but it's the strength of Barkley. And he's got a chance for 3. Here's the look, the back end. There's the move inside, the quick slap down from Pippen, and that was what the foul call was on the arm. So Charles can convert the conventional 3.
Whatever happened to the no hand checking rule in the NBA? Barkley's got it. 15 points. We have a game.
And what I love about this is Charles hasn't even set up behind the 3-point arc tonight.
Kukoc slapped away by Barkley. Outstanding defense. Chicago led by as many as 16 at one point. Here's some of that D.
Well, Green's a little bit better matchup on Kukoc here, but it's Charles that reached in to help out.
As we come back off the replay, AC Green says, I got him. Green committing that foul. Good to see Danny Manning back.
Sure is, and he Hasn't had a big impact tonight, made a couple of nice plays, but he's playing hard. He's brought a new intensity that the Suns kind of have lacked this season.
9 Jordan points. Michael's contract next year, when this one is up, is going to be a dandy. Some say as much as possibly $75 million over 3 years. But when you're in those kind of numbers, it's really all guesswork. Timeout on the court. That's Donnie Nelson. I'll tell you about him when we come back. It's a 4-point Bulls lead. Playoff start. I was telling you a story before we went to break about Donnie Nelson. Things are so bad with the Phoenix Suns. That's Don Nelson, the Knicks' son, who was an assistant coach with Phoenix, and even he missed 4 games because of a severe sinus infection. I mean, when your assistant coaches get sick too, I mean, come on. Phoenix outscoring Chicago by 9 this quarter. A whistle before all of that, so it won't count.
JP, we talked at the top of the show about how Kevin Johnson's been getting all the minutes, and Elliot Perry's been kind of buried on the bench. And again, same situation today. KJ has gone every minute of the game. We're now late in the second quarter, no rest, so we'll have to see how he holds up. You and I have done a lot of games involving Phoenix, and we've never gone this long without Perry being out there. And sometimes we've even seen him out there with Kevin Johnson together. AC Green with a miss. He's a 72% free throw shooter. Scottie Pippen will check in. Michael Jordan so far, his numbers you asked, 10 points. AC Green's back on the line. He was with the Lakers when they had their good run. He's hoping to win a ring with Phoenix. But they may be running out of chances. This has been a horrible year for the Suns. They're not even close to their pace from a year ago. Pippen giving it up. Jordan outside. In and out. Rebound was tipped. And there's AC Green. Kevin Johnson. 2 if it went. Tipped by Barkley twice. Got it. Good play by Sir Charles. No rule that says you got to bring it down, but you can get it back with that second effort, and it results in 2 points. Give him 17. He's been averaging 23. Working on Dickie Simpkins. Lots of up fakes, and then the tough kiss off the glass. Another miss by Chicago. They're all of a sudden cold. Barkley got the ball back. Well, when you go 15 for 19 in the first quarter, you're due to cool off just a little bit. Manning guns it to Barkley. Simpkins on him again. Bodies collide down low, and Barkley's got 19 points. Not a bad job defensively there by Simpkins, but Charles just outwills him to the hole. This game is tied. First time since 0-0, right? Yes. Weddington. Can't say enough about what Weddington has done today with 10 points. Basically, every time they've left him open for a jumper, he's hit it. Johnson outside. Intercepted. Pippen. Crossover dribble. Michael pulls up. Short. Suns get him. Time running out. First half, 2-point game. It remains that. Pulled down by Dickie Simpkins, number 8. They played in the Big East at Providence. Michael trying to get into a groove, and he's been cold. He also wanted to make sure they got the last possession, so he came down, took the quick shot, and you can see the differential. There will be 5 or 6 seconds, so he took that quick shot with a little thought process in mind. Hey, we'll get the last one of the quarter. KJ right through, and they're going to count the Kevin Johnson bucket. Are they going to call it outside? Maybe.
I thought one official said good. Let's see.
But here's a look. This is where Wennington gives it up right there. Well, maybe he doesn't give it up. Not a lot of contact. Officials calling it on the floor, so it doesn't look like they're going to count that as a possible three-point play.
A lot of confusion. I think AC Green thought, is he going to the line? This is interesting. Kevin Johnson will be at the line. And obviously they do not count the previous field goal, that is. Kukoc will come in. Tony Kukoc with 10 points in this game. 6 in the second quarter. I'm sorry, 12 points. 8 then in this quarter. Good night so far for KJ. And he extends it to 12 points. Bulls on the last shot if they can get it off here. 7 seconds left. We'll reach in. Green was there, so is Kevin Johnson. AC Green commits it.
Here's a look at Charles earlier working on Simpkins. Simpkins is able to shut off the baseline, forces the spin back, but Wennington's out of position for the double team. Charles is able to step right through it, saying, come on, you can't guard me.
Kukoc forced it up, one hand, no good. Tip, no. That's the way the first half ends. They're on their feet in Phoenix. Good quarter for Barkley after a slow start. 11 points. He didn't miss from the floor. 5 for 5. So at halftime, we're all even at 50. The Bulls, remember, once
averaging 30. You got Pippen averaging 21. Kukoc, the only other guy in double figures averaging. So to see Wennington and Kukoc right up there among the leaders usually would be a good sign for Chicago that they're getting more people involved.
Rodman is back to start this quarter. Some great names and faces in this game. Finley also up there with the 10 points, joining the leaders. This is the same unit that started the game for Chicago. Not quite the same unit that started for Phoenix. AC Green is in there. Rodman gave it up. Michael from the free throw line extended with a miss. Jordan's been cold. Wennington got it after about 4 tips. Rodman. Nice bounce pass to Ron Harper. Draws the foul in the reach-in.
Well, that time Harper went back door, and Kevin Johnson couldn't see both his man and the ball, and a good delivery on the bounce pass from Dennis Rodman.
Everybody talks about Rodman rebounding and defense. Sometimes he doesn't get enough credit for the pretty passes and the vision that he has out there. Sometimes it's not pretty. It's the long pass, but he finds the open man.
And that is a vital skill to have in this offense that the Bulls run. They expect all their people to be able to function in all the positions on the floor. And if you can make that backdoor pass as he did, then you're going to do a great job running this Chicago offense.
So far, Phoenix continues to go on without ever leading in this game. They've tied the game, but they've never led. Bulls led right from the opening score and had a 16-point lead. Manning. All kinds of fakes. Then it was short. Rodman tipped it off Pippen. Maybe Dennis should get half a rebound there. 2-point Bulls lead. 11:05 to go in the third quarter from America West Arena. Pippen. This time Barkley's on Pippen. Harper put it in and out on the 3. Barkley coast to coast. KJ. Finley almost stepped out. Nice play by the rookie.
Well, good job by KJ there. Kind of lulled the defense to sleep, thinking he'd take a jumper, and at the last second dropped it off to Finley, who exploded on the baseline.
Finley's on a pace to become the first Suns rookie since Walter Davis to score 1,000 points in a year. 77-78 was the year. Barkley on the rebound. Suns are running. Strip. Oh, what a play that would have been by Harper.
It's amazing these Bulls, even when it looks like they're at this incredible disadvantage, somehow are able to stay in the play. Here's a look at the battle between Manning and Rodman under the boards, and Charles Barkley able to step in there and get the easy rebound.
Andy Manning, his father Ed used to play in the NBA and also was an assistant coach at Kansas, now in the NBA. Finley with a miss. Rodman got that over Jordan. Game is tied. Phoenix had a chance to lead for the first time. Pippen, the turnaround block.
Fantastic defense by Finley.
Finley's 6'7". He got up there against Pippen. Finley played collegiately at the University of Wisconsin. KJ, long, rebound Wennington.
We saw Michael really school Michael Finley early on in the first quarter. Ever since then, Finley has really picked up his game, defense particularly.
Wide open for the moment was Rodman, and then Wennington. Well, he found Wennington, but Wennington couldn't find the jumper. Suns are laying some interference down low, too. Anytime Rodman is around there, they do anything they can to distract him, always with different players.
Well, you really need to give him bumps with a number of different people, and that's a good point, JP. They've always got guys trying to wall him off the boards.
Manning. No good.
Well, and Manning shot that one as an afterthought. We had a good look there. You could see him looking to pass and shot it as an afterthought.
Wennington. 12 points for Big Bill. He played collegiately at St. John's University. 2-point game. Chicago up.
With a fella by the name of Chris Mullen, who turned out to be a pretty good NBA player. If you call 4 seasons of 25 plus a game pretty good.
If that guy were healthy all the time, who knows what numbers Mullen would have put up. Going down. Barkley. And the Suns have a chance to take the lead. Charles's first 2 in this half. He's got 21 points.
Well, here's a look. He's going to beat Rodman to his left. There's no help on the baseline, and when it is there, it's too late. And he does a great job moving into Wennington, causing the foul. Good experience, low post. Strong players are able to do that.
Barkley listed maybe generously at 6'6", 252.
Well, the 6'6" is generous.
Yeah.
252 is probably right about right.
Scale's good.
And that's about 30, 35 down from what he walked into the NBA out of Auburn University at. He tipped him at about 285, maybe 290.
Jordan forced it. It's in and out. He's still cold. Wennington got it. No good.
Barkley has been immense on the boards.
You know, at this pace, Rodman's going to get another 20 rebounding night. KJ was fouled. Charles Barkley and KJ are in each other's faces. It's motivation time.
Well, this is as hard as I've seen Phoenix work all season. We've had them in a couple of games, and they've been very disappointing. Chicago, not used to going 1 for 8 on any stretch.
A lot of that's Jordan, too. First lead of the game for Phoenix. They trailed by 16 at one point. And KJ's got them both. 14 Kevin Johnson points. He has thrived under Fitzsimmons' coaching.
And Phoenix has given their crowd a reason to get into the game. They've lost 6 of 7 in this building. That's unheard of. But tonight, they're giving them reason to get off their feet.
Wennington. No good. Green's got it. Phoenix hoping to light it up at home after winning 5 of 8 on this great road trip. Missed from the outside. Barkley. Great rebound. Finley swinging it around. KJ. AC Green. Oh, great assist to AC Green from Kevin Johnson, and AC's on the board with 2.
Great awareness from Johnson, and that's what we're used to seeing from AC Green. Slipping along the baseline, finding an open space. KJ found it.
Rodman to Michael. Pippen got it on the soft turnaround. Only 10 Pippen points. 2 this quarter. Suns by a pair. 7 minutes to go in the third. KJ beat Jordan on the dribble.
Oh, he's feeling it. He kind of looked at Jordan right in the eyes and said, I'm going at you.
And miss at the other end. Only one chance. KJ. Person. That was an awkward-looking attempt, but he did draw a foul underneath. And that has the teacher happy. Cotton Fitzsimmons loves it. The Suns are finally leading in Phoenix. Intently, and he should be listening to the leaders of this team. It's KJ and Charles Barkley in whatever order you'd like. And Finley right now with 10 points, but he's done a good job defensively. There's a list of the double team against Michael Jordan. What does Jordan have right now? 10 points total. Finley also has 12 now. He had 10 before, but the double team is always going to be there.
And this has been a coming of age for Finley. We knew he had the offensive talent, and as he got used by Jordan early, but he's done a much better job defensively. This time he's on Pippen, so he gets no break. It's Jordan or Pippen that he's guarding. That time he stuffs it right back in Pippen's face. This time Jordan doesn't respect the drive, and Finley takes it to him.
There's the rookie, Michael Finley. Good candidate for Rookie of the Year. Person with a miss. When you shoot 79+% from the free throw line, you don't miss all that many. This is Chuck Person's younger brother. Played in every game this year. He started 27. Got it. He's on the board for the first time. Pippen bringing it up with Harper. 5-point lead, biggest lead of the night for Phoenix. They were down by 16 once. Wennington, now to Pippen. Jordan outside, in and out. He's not hitting, and not only that, Mark, he's not driving. He's taking those outside shots and only getting one rebound as Finley connects. He's
been frustrated by the tough defense that's been played and instead settling for jumpers. It's not going, and Phoenix is starting to pull away a little.
7-point lead, Suns at home. Wennington. Harper. In and out again. Rodman. No good. Rodman doesn't do that often. He'll pass it out. But I think the way this game was going, he felt that's an easy two, and he just plain missed it.
Yeah, and you know, you got to take it back up if you're down here. But first, here's a look. Michael Finley fakes the jumper, takes it strong to the hole, going by one of the best defenders in the game, Scottie Pippen.
Bill Wennington's got 5 personal fouls. We may be seeing James Edwards soon. Or if they want to go small, we could see Simpkins or Cappy.
Right, and Chicago doesn't feel compelled to play a true center because Phoenix doesn't really have one.
That's why there's no real advantage today when their number 1 center Longley was out, because Phoenix has struggled and they continue to struggle at the pivot. Could it be? Could the Bulls lose 2 straight? A lot of time left for this one. Way too early to even think about that. Our NBA update: Orlando trying to stay flawless at home. San Antonio all over Charlotte. Cleveland by 20 over Boston. Dallas has closed the gap against Milwaukee as Kevin Johnson gets a free throw. Kerr is in. Lakers by 3 over Denver. Kukoc is checking back in.
Well, you recall Kukoc had some excellent success in the first half exploiting the Suns defense. He came off the bench for 12 first half points, so they certainly need his offense.
And they're going, Mark, with the smaller lineup because they use Kukoc to replace Wennington. 9-point lead. Biggest lead by Phoenix. Michael to Steve Kerr. They may want that 3 to help bring him closer. Scotty. Great offensive play.
And he extends that arm, locks the elbow. I mean, he's releasing that shot from about 11 feet in the air.
There's no way to block that unless you're about 7'3" and jumping. Finley. Stops and pops. No good. Couple of tips. Scotty's ball. Transition to the Bulls. Oh, that was, I thought it was a walk. Most of the people in the building thought the same. Bulls going to break, I think. Pippen. Kukoc three, doesn't want it. Oh, nice entry. Jordan was fouled by Finley.
Yeah, very nice entry from Kukoc, who looked off the jump shot, and he found Jordan posting up Finley. Here's a look. He's got the open jumper, but he says no to it, and you're going to see Jordan come into your picture right there, and he's got Finley on his back, almost a three-point play.
It's one of the things that makes Chicago great. There's so many things, but the patience by Kukoc and the willingness to wait for your teammate to make a move and stay with it, even if it means that 1 or 2 extra seconds.
And that's one thing we really haven't seen Jordan do, is try and work hard away from the ball to lose Finley on a screen or something. We've seen him just try and beat him off the dribble.
He's not even making free throws. He missed 2. Michael Jordan with 10 points total. 39 he had against Denver in a near impossible comeback. His team was down by 31 at one point. Green down low. Finley, no room. Good job by Kukoc to deny the baseline.
Sure was quick hands there. Looked like it may even have gone off Finley's foot, so Suns fortunate to retain possession.
Stripped. Guess who? Michael. No good. What a foul. You know, even when he's not scoring, he can still help. He doesn't have to score any points. He may end up with 3 or 4 steals, several rebounds, and several assists.
Just a little tip caused that ball to head in the backcourt. You see Michael really struggling from the field. Credit Finley for a lot of that. But Jordan able to track it down in the open court and get the foul at the other end.
I didn't think he was going to miss that. You might have to go to the record books to find out the last time he missed 3 straight free throws. Got them both. Rodman.
Yeah, looks like a double foul here on Rodman. And
look at the body language with Rodman and Barkley. One smiling, the other's nodding like, yeah, that's the right call.
Rodman and A.C. Green got tangled up on that free throw. Official stepped in immediately, and I guess just a technical for Rodman, not the double foul, one on each player.
Oh, KJ with a miss. Phil Jackson still upset. You're right, this is like a playoff game. The intensity, the coaches, Jackson's really into it.
And he was imploring his defense to pick up full court.
The whistle before all that. And temper's getting short. Finley with Rodman, the veteran trying to goad the rookie.
He certainly succeeded in goading the rookie as Finley came running across. You know, here's the thing. Obviously, Rodman did something to upset Finley. We may get a better look at it. KJ drives, picks up the foul right there, and then after the play, Finley went to take it up. We don't see it as Johnson came up limping. Always a bad sign for Phoenix. And he's grabbing the back of his leg. Possible hamstring.
I think the whole crowd grimaces when KJ does the same, because they have a bad feeling about what could be coming. And he's hurting right there. He's looking toward the bench. Don't be surprised if he comes out real soon. 10 assists for KJ and 19 points, 20.
Well, they're getting huge games from their big two. Barkley's got the 14 rebounds already. KJ already got the 10 assists to go along with his 20 points.
And they want to get KJ out. This could be bad.
Straight to the locker room.
Yeah, this could be bad. I don't mean bad in terms of very serious, but maybe out for the night. Cameras will follow him there.
And with KJ, it's never been serious career-threatening injuries. It's always been the nagging injury. And a chance now to step to the spotlight. Elliot Perry, he did it for an extended period of time last year when KJ missed 37 games, but really hasn't seen the light of day his first appearance tonight.
New coaches, different ideas. Some players get more minutes, some less, and it's obvious that Perry has gotten less under Cotton Fitzsimmons. Michael's turnaround is good. Watch out if he starts to get a feel now and lights it up. 14 Jordan points. The lead's been cut to 5. Less than 4 minutes to go in the third quarter from America West Arena in Phoenix. Hope you're enjoying tonight's NBA action here on ESPN. We're here every Tuesday and Friday. Barkley got it. 23 Barkley points to go along with 14 rebounds. 7 points, Suns lead again. Suns used to be, over the last 7 years, the highest scoring team in the NBA if you look at the entire average over those 7 years. And now they're at their lowest point in about 10 years as Jordan connects 16 Michael points.
Maybe time for Michael to assert himself. Last 2 trips, he's wanted the ball and answered.
Elliot Perry. Signed through the year 2000 based on last year's great performance. Barkley inside on Rodman, and a great recovery by Dennis Rodman to get the block.
Yeah, Barkley has been amazingly successful. 11 of 13 field goal shooting today.
If he tries to guard me, I can score if they don't double. And I feel like he's going to get some rebound because that's all he does. But the main thing, I think you just have to keep him in his place and not let him go crazy and get emotional into the game.
Charles Barkley, the philosopher on Dennis Rodman. Those are the numbers tonight. You know Barkley's going to outscore him. Rebounds are pretty close.
Well, we talked about Charles with a renewed commitment to taking the ball inside and rebounding since his return from injury, and tonight he's just taken it to another level.
Barkley driving on Rodman, trying to kick it out. Michael says it's on Barkley.
Well, there definitely was contact, but it's got to be real hard to understand for Chicago why you take Barkley off the hook like that with a foul call. He's moving away from the basket, throwing his body into the defense with 1 second left on the shot clock, yet he gets rewarded with a free throw. And I think that's what Michael Jordan's saying. It's like, you know, come on. He's got a point.
Barkley is a 74, almost 75% free throw shooter. Makes the first. He's got 24 points.
Here's another look at it. He's out of control. Look at him. He's moving away from the basket to jump in to force the contact. And got to be frustrating because he clearly had no ability to make a shot from there.
2 for Barkley. 25 points to go along with those 14 boards. 7-point lead. Suns. Curve from Jordan. Pippen, easy play to Kukoc. That's the way they diagrammed it. 14 for Tony Kukoc.
Well, good penetration by Pippen. And what happens is defense has to turn its back on their man and step up to stop penetration. You get dunks on the back line as a result.
Elliot Perry to Barkley. Against Rodman on the baseline. That should be an offensive foul. Dennis Rodman says, yeah.
Well, a little bit more in the gamesmanship. Certainly Barkley has clearly had the upper hand in this matchup, but this time Rodman anticipating the baseline movement. Charles has been known to dip the shoulder every once in a while. That time ran him over.
What was that? Charles Barkley and Rodman were glaring at each other, playing a cat-and-mouse game, and I think the cat got caught.
Terrific camera work focusing on that matchup. Here's another look. Remember, Barkley said at the top of the show, I'll just give him some shots every now and then. And right to the kidney.
I mean, that's like when you're a kid and you think you're going to get away with being a bully and tag somebody. Oh, Rodman.
Well, Rodman makes him pay.
Yeah. Anytime he gets a free throw, that's a bonus when you're shooting 56%. Look at Dennis. What a character. And Barkley is going to get a rest. More than likely, they just want him to cool off a little bit. He has to come out sometime. Well, now's a good time.
The thing about Barkley is it was clearly an intentional play on his part to try and gain a psychological advantage. It's hard to make coaches understand that there's a method to your madness.
Elliott Perry picked up by Kerr. Is that Rodman again?
Yes, it is. Tisdale this time battling in the post with Rodman, and Rodman will pick up a foul here. He doesn't need to pick up fouls here with Barkley out of the game.
I thought it was his fourth. It might be his third. It is against Dennis Rodman. He's already had the technical foul called against him as well. Tisdale. 6 points. Wennington will come back in. Big Bill played 5 years with Dallas, 1 year with Sacramento. Settled in as a role player here with Chicago. Rodman is leaving. He'll be back. Tisdale gets them both. 7 points for Wayman Tisdale, who also played in Sacramento. Kukoc, nowhere to go there. Pippen on the baseline. Kukoc blocked. A.C. Green.
A great recovery by Green to make the block.
Persa. Short. Rebound, Tony Kukoc. Downtown. Scotty. Yes.
Scotty, too much of a man, holding off Wesley Person and then just dunking it on.
Great setup from Kukoc, start to finish. Strick, Tony Kukoc, big defensive play. Pippen. Kicked, I thought it hit Scottie Pippen last, so did the officials.
It did. Very dangerous time here for Phoenix. KJ out with the sprained hamstring, not expected back. He'll be examined tomorrow. And now Barkley down for a little cool-off period or get his blow so he can play the whole fourth quarter. So their two biggest offensive weapons not on the floor. And guess what? Neither's Danny Manning.
3-point game. Suns are up. They led by 9. Chicago once led by 16. All those hands and a foul is called. You can hear Pippen saying something like, why did you double there, it sounded like.
Well, you had Tisdale posting up. Watch him. He does a great job of making himself big. He already passed it out. Watch him repost and seal Kukoc on his back. And that's where Kukoc tried to come around and made the grab.
A miss by Tisdale. Tisdale's 31. Went to college at Oklahoma. 1 for 2 there. Made 3 out of his last 4 free throws, given 8 points. 4-point lead. Phoenix. Small lineup for Chicago, with the exception of Wennington, or smaller, you should say. Kukoc. Outside, Wennington. He can't hit it. He was hitting those in the first half. And there's some confusion as to whose ball, or there's a foul. Loose ball foul in Finland. Ron Harper checks back in. Cotton Fitzsimmons looking on. Michael Jordan will get a rest. Ooh. Ouch. Well, even all-stars can do that. Charles is looking like he couldn't believe it.
And this is a place where Pippen struggles, just 67% on the year. He's usually been able to draw iron on most of those attempts, though, JP.
Got it all there. 15 Pippen points. 27 left. Third quarter. And the reach in on Kukoc. Phil Jackson looking on. What a bench he has beside him. That was Jimmy Rogers to his left. He has Tex Winter, Jim Clemens, John Paxson.
You see Jason Caffey back in the game. For those of you looking for his number 35, that was torn off his back by Danny Manning. So they finally got him outfitted with a new uniform, number 52, the rest of the way.
arcing free throw for Elliot Perry. He's on the board. Michael Jordan sitting it out. So is Charles Barkley. I was reading in the paper today, the Bulls must lead the NBA in bodyguards. 3 of them are following Jordan around, and 1 with Rodman on this West Coast trip.
And I guess Scottie Pippen uses 1 for home games.
5-point lead. Suns, not much difference in the game clock and the shot clock here in the 3rd quarter. A couple of seconds. Scottie. Turning. Missing. Suns can get the last shot. They got to hurry. Perry will launch it. Didn't make it. Good effort by Elliot Perry right at the end. Michael Jordan sitting out at the very end with a total of 16 points, 6 assists, but he's 6 for 16 from the floor. It's all about Charles Barkley as Phoenix has a lead after 3 by 5. Kukoc. Here's where they're going to miss KJ. Can't make passes like that in close games against teams like Chicago. A slip by Kerr, but he bounced up. He sprang up. From the outside, a 3, but it doesn't go. Pippen had a chance.
Barkley making the most of his rest. Comes in with a big rebound.
Charles. Hold it. Stolen. Tony Kukoc, great read. Bulls have the best offense in the NBA, scoring the most points, but they've got the 3rd best defensive mark. Rodman! Great move. And a nice pass besides.
And Scottie Pippen posting.
This is the NBA here on ESPN with Mark Brown. I'm John Paudella Camera from America West Arena. Bulls are trying to make a comeback. They were down by 9 after leading by 16. This is a close one in Phoenix.
Here's a look at what Barkley had to contend with. Nowhere to go. Deep in the corner with Kukoc in his face. Drains it from long range. And then the steal and the big finish. A little bit of an extra hang on there just for the crowd's sake.
Good game. Phoenix. Pippen outside. Kukoc for 2. He's going to check back in when he gets an opportunity. At the scorer's table.
15 minutes. We haven't seen much of him lately, so he should be pretty fresh down the stretch here.
They may be taking their time with him against Chicago. He's played in a couple of games, but not against competition like this, so they may not want to extend him right away. Hard to say. We told you at the top, though, Rodman and Barkley would be a good matchup, and they've been fun to watch. Kukoc gets 2. 18 Tony Kukoc points. He averages 10. 5-point Suns lead, 7:34 to go. Manning. Got it.
Well, that's his first jumper that we've seen him hit tonight. He has struggled from the perimeter field goal percentage-wise, but that one looked good. Confidently stepped up with the stroke.
Huge difference he could make to this team. But it's all about staying healthy for them. Harper. Good play. Ron Harper's got 9 points and he'll go to the line.
Well, that time AC Green was actually in great position to step in and draw the charge. Good recognition here by Kukoc, finding him cross court. But AC Green, if he steps in and establishes instead of jumping, still kind of went straight up in the air. But once you've left your feet, the chances are pretty good that the officials will call the contact on you.
Harper missed it. Rodman thought he had another rebound.
Well, the free throw has got to draw iron to become live again. It never did. That's the 2nd air ball for Chicago from the line here in the 2nd half.
And he did that at Kansas. If you play at Kansas, you got to play both ends of the court. He was coached by Larry Brown, by the way, at Kansas. Now with the Pacers. Barkley. You saw a rare miss there by Charles. Bulls ball.
Yeah, rare indeed. I think 13 of 17 before that from the field.
giving it up. 5-point game. Can the Bulls rise to the occasion here? Can Michael take it over? There he goes. That's his first dribble drive penetration, I think, all night.
Well, that time he had Finley out top, no help, and we saw the extra explosive step of Michael Jordan. Just blew right by Michael Finley.
Can't shoot much better than that this quarter for either side. You know, Chicago in the last 27 games has only had 2 teams shoot 50% against them in a game. One was Washington, they beat them. The other was Denver, and they lost to them. 19 Jordan points. It's a 2-point game. You know that in the closing 5 minutes, the ball's got to be in Jordan's hands no matter what. Barkley from Green. Backing in. Bad pass. Kerr with Jordan. You know where it's going. Michael couldn't get it. You knew Kerr was going to give him that ball. Once Kerr looked up and saw that peripheral vision and saw it was Michael who was going back.
Oh, you got to get it there. Kerr knows where his bread's buttered, too. He gets set up for a lot of three-pointers from Michael's penetration. So when you got a finisher out there running with you, you got to give it to him.
Plus, Jordan had the better chance to make it a potentially 3-point play. Now he may not even make it a 2. He will not make it a 2. Jordan's an 83% free throw shooter, and he's missed at least 3 of those tonight. 20 Jordan points. Michael Jordan has scored 30 or more points in 25 games, 40 points or more 5 times. Elliott Perry got it. Great baseline jumper. 8 points for Perry. 3-point Suns lead. 5:23 to go in the game. Jordan. Long distance, Michael Jordan. It's only a 2, but quite a distance away from Michael. 22 Jordan points.
Finley had to respect that jab step because he got beat on the drive last time.
Manning forced it, got it. Not afraid to take that shot. It's only his 3rd game back, but he'll get into it. Very talented athlete, Danny Manning. Jordan from Kerr. That's Finley by himself. Michael. And they're going to say Finley touched him somehow.
Well, somebody touched something because that ball was about 5 feet short of the rim.
I think if you're reading Finley's lips, he said, I missed it.
Here's another look. Get up there, yay. Just very little you could tell, but he did get it. Get him right in the middle of the forearm, and that is just enough to change the trajectory on the shot. Just a little tap, but that's all it needs.
Swish for Michael. 23 Jordan points. Michael with 24. Perry against Kerr. Off the pick by Manning. The dish to Manning. Danny Manning. But Elliott Perry really set him up well.
And Manning's got the 15-footer going. He's hit 3 in a row since coming off the bench.
And a foul again on Finley.
Well, Finley's finding out just how difficult it is to guard Michael Jordan. He got burned early. He adjusted and gave Jordan all kinds of problems in the middle of the game. But now it's crunch time, and Michael Jordan's still going, and he's still got the moves, and he's still tough to defend. You see, Jordan's got him by the arm there, and that's what Finley's saying. He's saying, hey, I'm riding him, but he actually hooked my arm, and that is what happened. But that's a little trick that some of the veterans learn, and Michael Jordan knows many of them.
Well, a DQ for Michael Finley, but he played well tonight, and he learned a lot as well. 14 points for Finley. I give him credit, too. He didn't lose his cool and pick up a technical. He may have come close, but he didn't. Jordan.
Well, it's important for the Suns to buy into the defensive concept that has been so successful for them tonight. As you look at the foul trouble, Finley already out, Barkley with 5. That's big, especially when you remember the one that he gave up on purpose to Rodman in that little gamesmanship that we saw earlier.
Rebound, Danny Manning. 4:18 left. Suns by 2. 9 points was the Suns' biggest lead. 16 for the Bulls. Suns never led until the third quarter. Barkley was tied at half at 50.
Shot clock.
Oh. Danny Manning got a timeout with 1 second left. That's what they do at Kansas. Watch the effort, the hustle, as this ball goes to the floor, but he's aware of the time and watch. Quick. Pippen, Jordan from this game, assuming Pippen does go. Michael Jordan, 27 points. Charles Barkley, 30.
But only 1 point and no rebounds in the last 7 minutes for Barkley, so he needs to reassert himself down the stretch.
The game reset showed that the Bulls have more timeouts and fouls to give. Kerr. They need to make a basket, though. Michael Jordan, less than 2 minutes to go. He bodied up on Manning. Missed the shot. Rodman tipped it in. What a rebound. Dennis Rodman. And I think he may get something. I was thinking he might have got a technical. He seemed like he was right in Barkley's face.
He was bordering on taunting. It's a strategy here. Manning on Jordan. Jordan shooting over him. Rodman active with the nice tap straight in. And the big reaction. There you go, Charles. Take your 30 points. I'll take my tip in crunch time.
Who, me? No, I didn't. No, it wasn't me. I guess nothing's happening. Phoenix ball. There was no call. 1 point Suns lead. 1:50 to go. Generally the ball goes into Superstar's hands here, but it doesn't make Barkley. Timeout Chicago. That is a great defensive play.
Great defensive play, and if you have 4 timeouts left, a great job to use one of them and preserve that possession.
Just a 22nd timeout. Great call. You see more and more of that. Players, though, must be aware of it. That time, right there on the sideline, that play was made for the timeout. Good defensive play.
And that is the time to use it. I don't feel that should be an automatic play. Whenever you're in trouble, first quarter, use it. But in that situation, end of the game, you've got a bunch of them. Each possession is important. Go ahead and use it. And that was a judicious use of it by Pippen, and it saves a possession for Chicago.
Danny Manning back. This is his 3rd game after the ACL. Michael, after a slow start, is now hit for 27. Michael Jordan has 17 second-half points. 1 point Phoenix lead, but the Bulls have the ball and a chance to lead for the first time since earlier in the third quarter when Phoenix went on their run. Michael bumped by Manning.
And you know what? Good foul there. That time Manning stopped and looked around to see where his help was coming from, and instead Michael just took him straight to the baseline when he relaxed, and the baseline is where there is no help.
This is what Michael was not doing in the first half, taking it to the hole.
And only 9 of 15 from the line today, so a good foul make it 9 of 16. So Manning with the smart play instead of giving up the dunk.
A lot of us are stunned at this free throw percentage. This is a guy that shoots 83%. Michael gets 1. He's got 28. This baby's tied. 96 all. Chicago and Phoenix. 1:25 to go in the game in regulation. Perry forced it. Looked like it was going to go and maybe be a 3-point play. Steve Kerr commits the foul.
Well, Kerr has pretty much gone the whole way in the fourth quarter. We haven't seen Ron Harper at all. I think perhaps Phil Jackson thinking that with KJ out, he can leave a guy who's not quite as good a defender, Kerr, in and not get hurt defensively and still get Kerr's jump shooting on the other end.
It's interesting, though, they've not gone to Kerr much with a 3-point shot.
Not at all. So really he's not paying off that offensive dividend that they'd hoped.
Elliot Perry, 76% free throw shooter. The eyes of Michael Jordan, very intense.
And Jordan certainly has dominated the offensive possessions the last several times down the court for Chicago.
2 clutch free throws for Perry. He's got 10 points. Michael Finley looking on from the bench of Phoenix. 2-point Suns lead. 1:18 left. Regulation time. Jordan. Kerr outside. Pippen. Kukoc for 3. In and out. Suns ball on the rebound to Wesley Person.
And 5 Suns had their men blocked out on the defensive boards. So good concentration for the Suns.
Huge possession here for Phoenix. Perry. Got it. He shot the lights out. Take him home, Charles. One again. Phoenix. Phoenix leading here 101 to 96. 50.6 seconds left on the clock.
And you have Tony Kukoc, a wide open 3. That would give them the lead if he makes it. But great boxing out, and you see Kukoc mad at himself for missing the open one. And how about Elliott Perry? Didn't play until the 4th quarter, and he pulls up from on top of the line, releases the 2-point shot over Kerr. They initially gave him 3 points for that shot. Should be only 2.
Clutch shot by Perry.
I don't know what Elliott Perry was thinking about. No time off the shot clock with the lead, and he pulls up and shoots the shot, but obviously had the confidence, felt it, and if they go down, they're all good.
Stick around. Not over yet. And in the NBA, 50.6 seconds is a lot of time. They did take the 1 point away. I scored it as a 2 on mine. I didn't do all the math. It's a 4-point Phoenix game. Timeout. Kukoc didn't see anything, and you can't afford a turnover here. So no matter what, you've got to take the timeout. You can see body language. He said, I didn't have anybody.
It seemed as if Chicago was surprised that Phoenix would try and deny the inbounds. They didn't play Kukoc, who was the inbounder, and instead tried to deny 4 guys using 5. So smart play, and it caused Chicago to have to burn that timeout.
Well, in the chess match, you got 2 go-to guys. You figure it's going to go to Jordan, but they could go to Pippen. But even if it does go to Jordan, how many times has the rest of the NBA known that, and they still can't stop it?
And there is the man of the hour. He has had a very difficult time shooting free throws, and it's a scenario where you get in trouble with the lead. Maybe you think about fouling him before he can get that shot up.
This is an important game for Phoenix. They've just come off of the road trip, winning 5 out of the 8, doing a good job shooting, rebounding, better defense, and here they're at home, sellout crowd against the Bulls, and they had the 9-point lead. I mean, this could be a huge win for them if they could hold on.
And to come this far and let it slip away, that could be tough, especially if they've lost Kevin Johnson for a game or 2. As you can see, the free throws nearly even as far as how many they've attempted, but Phoenix done a better job of cashing in on their opportunities.
Jerry Colangelo looks younger than the last time we saw him.
Amazing how that'll happen.
I think the last time we saw him, though, it was a 16-point Bulls lead. Look out! What a bad pass, Barkley! Exclamation point. Charles Barkley, 32 points, 6-point game. They're going to put up the 3. Pippen missed. Rodman. He's going to take it. Oh, what a decision that was. Rodman panicked. After the timeout that Kukoc took, he had to do better than that last pass.
Absolutely, and why is Dennis Rodman option number 1? He's not used to having to get the ball out there. Barkley, great anticipation and the big finish, and Phoenix can smell a victory.
That's the second time that's happened tonight. Barkley reaching in while Rodman was there.
I don't understand why that is the option to inbound the ball in that situation. What is Rodman going to do with it out there?
.33 Barkley points, and he's going to the line.
And Barkley really just baited him into that. He laid off just enough for it to appear that Rodman was open. Rodman wasn't ready to keep coming to the ball. Barkley did, outsmarted him, and the rest, as they say, could be history.
Tell you, Kukoc didn't have enough on that ball. You got to gun it in there, and he did not.
You have to gun it bigger than anyone.
Suns are only 10-12 at home. Same record as they have on the road. Pippen, that's the way you inbound. Kukoc faking, taking, off the glass, couple of tips. Suns, this is their night. And full credit to them. Against the team that most people feel is the best right now in basketball. They came from 16 down and overcame an injury to Kevin Johnson to have this game that's theirs right now.
And that's what really makes it so much more impressive than just a win. You mentioned how far they had to come back, and as they've done that and were battling blow for blow with this Bulls team, that's when they lost their point guard, who had already had 20 points, 10 assists in the game, talking about Kevin Johnson. And ironically enough, one of the key contributors down the stretch was his replacement, Elliot Perry.
Jordan and Barkley having a conversation. They are good friends off the court, extremely good friends. Elliot Perry, can't say enough about his performance tonight. 10-point game. Phoenix will win it at home. Pippen forced it, missed it. Who wants it? Doesn't matter. Kukoc, short. A miss by Jordan. That's the way to end it. Suns win by 10. And the Chicago Bulls have lost 2 straight games. Obviously, with their record, that has not happened this year. Charles Barkley, by my count, 34 points, 35 and 16 rebounds. 106-96, and it was Charles Barkley that probably put the exclamation point on this night. Not only did he have the great performance with the 35 points and 16 rebounds, but his defensive play when he took the ball right off of Tony Kukoc's pass really was the one that sealed the fate of the Bulls tonight.
Great anticipation by Barkley, and this was the play of the game right here, the big finish, and the Suns fan knew they had a victory.
Charles Barkley, rising to the occasion like the all-star that he is, leads the Suns to victory tonight. From Mark Brown, I'm John Paul Della Camera. Thanks for watching the NBA on ESPN. The Suns are winners tonight.
We have to remember that if we're going to be serious about population policy, we have to talk about the responsibilities of men as well.
Men's behavior, sexual behavior, and sense of responsibility for the health of their partners.
I've faced a lot of tough competition, but nothing as tough as